We are currently in Ocala, and this is such a cool spot. So we are at Sholom Park, and we're going to keep the intro very short because we have a lot to show you. But we reached out to them and have special permission to go around and show you Sholom Park. But we just got done on like a 45-minute golf cart tour with a couple of fabulous workers here that gave us the rundown of everything in order to show it to everybody else. So you're actually the one that found Sholom Park, and let me tell you what, it's
impressive,
beautiful and impressive. So we're going to show you around. Let's go check it out. So the drive-in was amazing. You can see there's plenty of trees, it's shaded, it's beautiful, it's peaceful, and really nice drive heading in here. And then once you're in here, plenty of parking. And this is where we actually started the tour, is right here by this flagpole. So that's where we're also going to start our tour. Timber took a lot of notes so that we
copious notes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that we could do the best we could to share this park with you. So to start off, let's just say this is a privately owned park. It's not a government park or...
Right, taxes don't go toward it. It relies on donations.
Yes.
And things like that.
On all donations. Here are some park guidelines. The one thing we noticed about, I mean, we noticed many things, but one thing that we really thought was highly impressive is the amount of care and love they put into this park. It's almost like, I mean, it's almost like you're just
it's like
out.
The intention was for it to be like a very peaceful, spiritual, reflective place. And I feel like they still carry that on today.
Yes,
so
definitely.
Yeah.
Now, I also, just researching it online, didn't realize how massive it actually is. What'd they say? It's 44 acres with like 3+ miles of trails.
Right.
And the good news is most of your trails, actually all your trails, are like the concrete trails. So you get a lot of people walking out here in the mornings, things like that. There are a few trails that are just kind of man-made trails.
Right.
But they said...
And you can walk wherever you want to.
The grounds are totally open. I wanted to show you a couple things here because here is a QR code to donate. They do have a merch store. There's their website. There's a map. And what I will do is I'll actually put the link to their donate page in the description below, that if you guys, anybody wants to donate to them, it'll be there. And then also here's a hoodie, a sweatshirt, lap blanket, limited edition items right there. And like we do with Give Kids the World, things like that, portion of whatever this video makes, we will then donate to Sholom Park. We like supporting things like this. We appreciate them giving us the tour and letting us film, but it's also just, we love Florida nature, and it's kind of all in one.
There's a good mission behind it.
Yes, definitely. They do have restrooms and water fountains with like the bottle fillers over here. And then this is kind of where we started, like we mentioned earlier, but so the park honors the name of
Sidney Colin's grandfather.
Yes, Sholom, which is also the Hebrew word for peace. So the first little area we're going to show you is through these gates.
Yeah, and this is the formal garden. And Mr. Sidney Colin is the one that founded this park, and was really inspired after a trip to the Boston Gardens. So kind of wanted to do their own version here in Florida. They lived on property over past
over
those hedges, and he and his wife Ina would come out and just walk this area. They did initially purchase 13,000 acres, which has since been developed into various other things, but this 44 acres is the park, part of that purchase.
Now, something I didn't know is there's a connection to On Top of the World.
Yep.
which I also didn't know On Top of the World was originally founded in the Clearwater area.
It's kind of more of a condo style living space, but now they have On Top of the World here, which they are developing a space for all ages as well.
And the connection to On Top of the World is?
Yeah, I mean, it's part of this, and then Ken, Mr. Sidney's son, is the one who has taken all of that over now.
And there will be times throughout this video that maybe we just stay quiet and you can hear the peacefulness of the nature, because that's what it's all about at this park. Kind of connecting to nature and just being at peace. So this whole area was actually, I don't want to say in the works, but maybe
a vision
starting in like the 70s?
1975, I believe.
And then finally, Ken, Sidney's son, I believe this was the story, said, if you're gonna wanna do this park, let's do it. So the park's now been here for
a little over 20
years. And they definitely thought out a lot of these little, I don't know, little quadrants that they have here. So this one that we're walking in, we'll show you, they have a Zen garden, they have a pond, and you can just kind of go out and explore at your own pace. I will say this video is going to be loaded full of information, so something else they offer, not during the summer, they offer a couple things, but the one I'm going to talk about right now is they do walking tours. And the cool thing about the walking tour is they have like 3 parts to the walking tour, but it's almost like a behind the scenes, kind of like we just got, and you can come out here, enjoy the nature, and they give you different facts, show you the different plants. And really,
they talk a lot about the kind of symbolism throughout the park as well, reflecting on how nature has an impact on us and how we have an impact on nature, and that kind of thing as well, which is nice.
And then just look at the path behind us. So right up there is where we just started from, kind of hitting this section first. Listen to the nature here. And they do have, I don't know what they say, 5 full-time workers?
Yes.
Which, I mean, for all this land, that's a lot to keep up with, but they do a beautiful job. They do have volunteers that come out and help. And they do allow media and things of that nature, but you do have to get a permit through them. So if you're ever in doubt of if like you're gonna have a photo shoot or something like that, just contact them. They're really nice, and they will point you in the right direction of what needs to be done, because honestly, a photo shoot out here would actually be pretty awesome. And they also mentioned that all of their plants here, they try to make it to where they don't have to do a whole lot of like
upkeep. It's a lot of native, or there's non-native as well, but that thrive without having to do a bunch of supplemental watering or fertilizing or anything like that.
Yeah. So they showed us the statue right here. This is Ray.
Yep. And Ray was Mr. Sidney's first employee, but became a very trusted friend, and made connections to a friend that his grandfather had.
And actually helped him with a lot of things, like a lot of projects. I didn't see this when we were passing through, but it's kind of funny because I don't know if the intent was to make this look like an actual walking stick. That's kind of funny. That's like play on words. It looks like a walking stick. Something I love, a water feature. I'm a big water feature fan, but here's the labyrinth path, listening to the waters.
Yeah, so there's different placards throughout the labyrinth path. It was designed by Dan Robinson, who's a professor at UF, and when they designed the labyrinth, they wanted it to be more of a spiritual journey, so they placed these placards to kind of guide you meditationally throughout the labyrinth, so that it's more of a thought-provoking journey.
I do like a good water feature, though. That's so peaceful. Out here you are just surrounded by nature and trees, which we love. We love the Florida nature. We actually said that when family visits, we're going to add this to the list of places to visit. You can see this fence here. This fence is kind of where you pull into the actual park. And Nice little sitting area. This is a very nice path too, because again, you can just go read all these different signs. And we're not going to spoil the rest of the signs because it'll be up to you to come out and read them here, but we've got sign, 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 just a winding, peaceful path. I actually don't think we mentioned it earlier, but the park is open 8 to 5, and the 5 is
Every
a hard
day.
stop.
Yeah.
So like 4:30, after 4:30, they don't let anybody else in, but I think they said 365 days a year,
Yeah.
didn't they? So 8 to 5, 365 days a year. There's Ray, we walked by earlier. We're gonna walk down this path and show you over here.
This is the ginger garden. The various different types of ginger.
Now with the Florida nature, obviously different things bloom out at different times of year. So one thing they mentioned that's a popular time is the azaleas.
Azalea season,
Yeah.
in the spring.
When they're fully bloomed out. They said a lot of people like coming out to that to look at it. So they also have critters, squirrels,
Wildlife.
turtles, wildlife. They have
Fox squirrel.
fox squirrel, an eagle.
Eagle's nest. I think that one's not technically on property, but you can see it.
Oh, you can see it, gotcha.
Woodpeckers,
Yep,
koi fish,
bats.
bats, purple martins. Lots of bird species, I'm sure.
Yeah. We're gonna head across the parking lot now, continue this journey. We'll also get to show you the pond with the koi fish. This sums up the park. Make note, there are no pets allowed. I would definitely recommend just looking on the website, seeing what's allowed and what's not allowed, or pausing the video at the front sign that we filmed that shows kind of some of the rules. Here's probably one of my favorite parts of this park. The koi pond. I love the water. I love how many trails are over here. And you can also, for a quarter, I think they said, feed the koi fish, which is nice. And I also do like how all the paths are the sidewalk concrete paths. That way, anyone and everyone is safe to walk around here, get plenty of exercise. Let's maybe go over towards this bench. But up here in the little gazebo area, that's where you can get the food for the fish. We can also see several of the koi fish. Pretty excited about their meal right now. We'll go ahead and walk up here. If you followed us for any amount of time, you know my fear of spiders. They have some massive spiders here, but I'll do my best to get not super close, but enough to show you. Right there. I'm actually gonna zoom in so you can see how big these spiders are. If you are scared of spiders, you may want to skip through this. It's terrifying filming right now, but some might think that's a beautiful spider. Nonetheless, that's a big spider. All of these trees. Now, up here is where they have, what was it, the fairy garden? In the...
Yeah, it's in, I believe it was February, they mentioned that over in the Enchanted Forest, they put little gnomes and fairy doors. And there's an app that is a resource for people to kind of listen to, see a story about each gnome and each fairy door. So it's interactive and fun for everyone.
And that's in this general area, I believe, like over here. to the right.
Yeah, in the enchanted forest to the right.
So right over here.
Let's look at all of that.
Here is the Liberty tree. I also like documenting things like this because we could come back 10 years from now and see how much the Liberty tree has grown. I have to keep reminding myself that we're actually in Ocala. It does not feel like you're in Ocala. Overview of where we're at. Behind us is the pond. Over to the left is kind of like that main entrance. And this little walkway, pretty
There's
unique,
significant
story to it. Let's see what this says.
So this part here is called the Olive Tree Promenade, and it was kind of designed by a gentleman who would visit here with his wife, and they would walk. And there's significance because on the left side and the right side has each 18 trees, and the number 18 is significantly associated with life because the Hebrew word for life has a numerical value of 18 when using a Jewish system of assigning numerical values to letters. So on one side there's 18, on another side there's 18, and this often is used as a pathway for weddings and symbolizing two lives coming together, which I thought was really beautiful.
Yeah. And didn't he say these two benches
Yes.
are dedicated to
The couple.
the couple? This being another one of our favorite spots on the property. They did a beautiful job with it. And wait until you see the spot where you could get married. I did ask if you have an interest in getting married or some sort of
Holding an event.
An
something
event.
like that.
go on their website, reach out to them, and you can get all the information you need. Obviously, don't just show up and then say, I'm having a wedding here. You got to plan it out. Make sure you get
Has to be approved.
proper approval. This right here,
Is the pergibo.
and that's where you can have weddings. Also, it's wrapped around with jasmine, so when it blooms, very pretty, and it'll also smell really good. You can see it makes for a pretty backdrop. Definitely a pretty spot. We're going to continue this way and then make our way around here to the Zen garden and then back through. There is a bat house there, purple martin house over there. More walking trails this way. Now it's also currently, what time is it?
It is almost noon.
Almost noon, so hot part of the day, but believe it or not, it's not really too bad. You have a nice breeze and a lot of the paths are shaded. So they did say pretty much your spring/fall seasons are going to be a little bit more popular just due to the cooler weathers, but
And that is when they do their walking tours.
yes.
So I think October through March was when they do their walk and talk tours, and they also do a concert series, which we'll show you where they do that later.
Yep. We're gonna go right for a second. Maybe even, I didn't even realize, look, all the trails go back there too. We're gonna go right for a second just to show you something, but there's a butterfly. Now we mentioned earlier the woodpeckers. I can't see where the one is above us, but I can hear it. And one just flew on this tree in front of us.
I think he just flew down. There's another one.
Oh, right there. On the back side of this tree.
Oh, there's another one too. There's quite a few.
Look how pretty this is. Reason we wanted to come over this way was this tree right here. Now they do keep dead trees around for the woodpeckers, for your hawks and birds that want to kind of set up there to look out, but this is called the Lean on Me tree.
Yeah, and it's an old dead pine tree that is being held up by this oak tree. And when we were going through our kind of little tour, they said they don't really talk about like, okay, well, this is this type of tree and that kind of thing. It's more of a, okay, what is, looking at this, what does it symbolize? What does it mean to you? How can you reflect on this and apply it to your life? And so they said, you know, it's like the oak tree is kind of holding up the other one, which was something to think about.
Yeah, Lean on Me. They did sing, I wouldn't say sing, said the lyrics to some of the song. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Woodpeckers somewhere over here going to town. Squirrel sighting. So that was the path we just came from earlier. We're gonna head this way. There's a cool magnolia tree story up here. Again, paths back that way. I also appreciate all the benches they have, because if you just need to take a minute or whatever, they've got plenty of seating. We can just pop a squat, rest for a little bit. Come and sit and meditate on me. Together, we can possibly see tomorrows that are yet to be. Here's the magnolia tree, so you can see
There's about 5 of them.
five of them there, yeah.
And they're all from the same family, but they all look different.
So they said, how neat's that? Like, it's kind of like,
In our families.
yeah, in our families, we're all from the same, but yet we have different characteristics.
We grow differently.
Yeah, look differently. So I thought that was pretty neat that they had a section like this. They don't label any of their like plants, and we ask them about that, and a lot of people do, and the reason is kind of like back with the Lean on Me tree. These 2 trees, he said, for the most part, you could pick out what kind they are, but like kind of defeats the purpose of this park, because he said one's 80-ish years old maybe, the other one's 100 years old. And he said that they survive storms really well because what people don't realize is
their canopies grow together
Yeah.
to support each other, but then also the root systems grow together to support each other. So think about someone who has grown with you and supported you through the storms in your life.
Here we have the purple martin house. And then off in the distance, that's a fun garden. That's a new garden they're starting. That has all edible plants.
Yeah, that's going to be their food forest.
So like
There's sugar cane,
pears,
pears.
everything, whether it's the leaf or an actual fruit, something like that, growing on it, it'll be edible. And then that brings us to this wonderful arched shrubbery. I can tell you, after visiting this spot, we are going to be out here pretty often to get some exercise and enjoy nature, especially in the fall when the weather's perfect.
Spring.
Spring's great too.
Winter's not bad either.
Yeah. I mean, we're out here in the summer, so
Right.
I guess all seasons for us. Here's the bat house.
They have 2. This is one of them.
Oh, that's right, yep.
And they try not to use pesticides, things like that, so that's why they brought in the bats and the purple martins to try and keep bugs at a minimum.
Here were the olive trees. We're making our way around this way. This tree right here has significance. There is where they have concerts. We'll go over that. And then back over that way is where the Zen garden is at, that we're going to go to at the very end. And then that should be an overall tour. Of course, we didn't go the full 3 miles or whatever.
Yeah, just an overview.
Just an overview. Just looking at this pine tree reminds me of my grandma's house. She had a bunch of them and go outside and always play underneath them. This right here was planted
15 years after the...
This tree right here was planted 15th anniversary in honor of Sydney and Ina, whose vision made this beautiful park possible. Now, this attracts squirrels,
Oh yeah,
but
fox
not just
squirrels.
any squirrels, fox squirrels. And they have seen one in the park that's been around a little bit, so they're trying to bring in some more fox squirrels to the area. And that's why this specific type of tree was planted here. This is a really cool thing they do. You can see all the green space, but they have concerts here, a concert series. What is it, Concert After Dark or something like that? So when it gets dark outside in the months, like you said, October through March,
Yeah.
they have concerts. That it's a paid event that also brings money to the park, and have some really cool, I would say some classical, I mean we've never been, but different types of
I'm
music
sure it's a variety.
out here. And you can bring
Picnic
quilts, blankets, chairs.
You can bring your own food, but they also have a food truck available at most events.
Yep.
And I would say just go on their website and check out what events are coming up when it comes that time.
Definitely. We're going to be out here sometime and watch a concert for sure. That sounds like a fun time. So this is the main area. I actually think there's a map on the back of that right there. So what we'll do is let's go to the Zen Garden. That'll kind of wrap up all the different sections of the park. We'll finish at the map and then finish our tour. Here we have the Zen Garden. This is a pretty new spot they've added recently. I am going to try to talk pretty quietly because it is a quiet zone and there's some people out here, so just kind of do a walking tour of it all. And they have speakers with music playing. It's a pretty peaceful spot. So we're actually not going to speak during showing this section, so we'll just be quiet and show you a silent walking tour. And this is another peaceful spot right here that you can sit at. Now that did the tour of the Zen area, there are some facts about it.
Yeah, it opened about 18 months ago, and there's an architect that worked on it, and he had done work over in Disney Tokyo.
Yeah, so pretty cool. They had a Disney architect work on this. You can tell. I mean, they put a lot of effort into it. Now we're gonna head up here. Maybe we'll, if that is a map up here, we'll show you the back side of the map, and then end up calling it with a good generic overview of Sholom Park. Now, we've said it before, but our goal with these videos and most of our channel is just to show awareness to places that people may have never known of, may never heard of. Even when we get like suggestions and other things like that, it actually helps us out too, because it makes us aware of different things we might have not known about. So it's nice to have a YouTube community that share an interest and make places like this aware to those who might not know about it. Time to explore. So, yep, here's that entrance. And over here, parked out right there. Currently, right over here. We did this area first, walked this area, walked across, did the pond area, kind of stuck to this, stuck to this yellow trail, and then finished up with the purple trail. And you can see, here you go. So I'd say follow that, just over 2 miles. But if you go in between, you'll probably be close to 3. That was our trip out to Sholom Park here in Ocala. Wanted to give a big thank you to Misty and Brian for inviting us out and giving us the tour. That was very helpful.
Yes.
We would have not known most of the information we knew had we just been here walking around. Also, thanks for letting us film this, get to share it with everyone. Like mentioned before, we will put the link to their donation page if you feel like donating, helping them out, because they do run off of donations. And what a beautiful spot. We will be back here again if you're in the area, even if you have to drive a little bit. I mean, it did take us over an hour to get here.
Yeah.
And it's totally worth it to enjoy nature, to be outside, to get exercise. And you can obviously hear the bird in the background trying to talk over us here. But it's just cool seeing the birds, the spiders, even though I'm not a fan, and koi fish, all that. So
Yeah.
thank you for taking notes and being able to help make this video and reaching out and finding this spot. I appreciate that. And hopefully you enjoyed this video. Feel free to share it with others and come out here, give it a visit. With that being said, that does it for today. Thanks for watching.